Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm just going to be doing some maintenance on this 20-gallon tank right here. And then also going to go to the fish store and take you guys along with me so I can get some cleanup crew because this tank's been running maybe 5 or 6 weeks now. So it's time to get some shrimp and some snails and maybe some autos for this tank because there's quite a bit of hair algae, as you guys will see in just a moment. Oh, also, since putting up my last video of when I did a tour of all the tanks I have now more than doubled my subscribers. So I just want to say hi to all of you guys who are now subscribed, and thank you so much, and I appreciate it. So yeah, thanks for following along with my channel. But yeah, let me get you guys a closer view so that way you can see what I'm talking about, and we'll get started on maintaining this tank. Here's a closer look of all that hair algae that I was talking about. And then to clean it up, I'm just going to use a toothbrush. So I'm just going to take my toothbrush and kind of just twirl all the hair algae out of here. It looks pretty crazy right now, but I've just been busy, so I haven't had time earlier this week to clean it up. But yeah, hair algae, really any type of algae, getting diatoms and stuff like that is super normal in the beginning stages of your fish tank. And like I said, this tank has been set up for like 5 weeks, I think. So this is totally normal in a new tank that isn't super stable yet. So if your tank looks like this and it's still pretty early on, no need to panic or worry. Just make sure you're staying on top of the maintenance and doing water changes, and then you can go ahead and add a cleanup crew, and all of those things will help while your tank figures out its balance. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start a time lapse as to not bore you while I clean up all of this hair algae, and then after I clean up the hair algae, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of a trim and then a water change. But this is just to give you guys an idea of how I maintain my fish tanks, especially new fish tanks, because they can look a little crazy in the beginning. So yeah, cue the time lapse. Okay, so that's the majority of the hair algae removed from this tank. Now I'm going to trim up the stem plants, any of the parts of the plants that are looking unhealthy. So let's go ahead and get cutting. So first thing is the stem plants. I'm just gonna give them a good cut. So it's gonna look very bare in here after I cut everything, but they grow so fast that I kind of have to, otherwise I'm gonna be trimming like every few days. Plus, when you trim your stem plants, it encourages more growth, so don't be afraid to cut your plants. Plus, you can save these for like another build that you're doing, or you can even replant them. I'm not going to replant these into this tank because it's already really full. But just a little tip that you can use in your own fish tanks. So I went quite heavy on my trim, as you can see, and you might be thinking, you made it look worse. But trimming your tank is a really important part of maintaining your tank, and it encourages new growth. So while it may look like you got a bad haircut, it will grow in nicer, and it's also really good for the plants. So I am going to siphon out all of that moss that I trimmed, which is a little bit of a pain in the butt. I don't know why I chose to put so much moss in this tank in the first place. I thought it would look cool, but now, yeah, I have to deal with the consequences of my actions. So I'm gonna try and siphon out as much of this moss as possible. And I won't bore you guys with that. I'm probably gonna take 15 to 20% of the water out and then fill it back up. So yeah, let me do that real quick and then we can head off to the fish store. So the maintenance is all done, and you might think that it looks worse than it did before, but I promise the plants will grow back and it will look good again. I actually ran out of time today, so we'll go ahead and hit the fish store tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow. It's the next day, so we're gonna head to the fish store and then pick out a cleanup crew. I'm just gonna go to my friend's fish shop. I'm not sure exactly what they'll have. I'm hoping for some Amanos and Nerite snails and maybe some Ottos, just depends on what he's got. But yeah, let's get going to the fish store. When I first arrived at the shop, Doug was busy with some other things, so I just thought I'd take a quick peek look around and look at the different fish that they have right now. So maybe I could get inspired and decide on what I'd like in my tank once I'm ready to add some more fish to them. I thought that these guys were pretty cool looking. I don't really know much about them, not sold, but if you guys have any ideas or suggestions on different fish that I should add to the tank, go ahead and drop them in the comments and I will check those out. But yes, this shop is located in San Diego and Doug is super nice, cool guy, so if you're ever in the area, the name of the shop is the Love Aquarium, so yeah, you can check it out and tell him I sent you because he'll probably get a good laugh at that. Alright, I was able to steal a little bit of Doug's time so he could help me get some Amano shrimp. Luckily for me, they did have Amano shrimp when I came. They don't always have them just because they sell out fast. But these are great little shrimp to keep in your tank because they really help clean up your algae for you. So Doug is just scooping a few out for me. I'm going to go for 6 for the tank that I have set up at home. And yeah, just took a couple scoops because they are tricky little guys and so fast and hard to catch. From out of this tank here, he is just grabbing me a few Nerite snails. And last but not least, a few Ottos. And like I said earlier, if you guys are ever in the San Diego County area, hit up Doug's shop. It's called the Love Aquarium, and tell him I sent you. Alright, I just got back from the fish store, and it is super hot outside, like in the 90s. It's disgusting. But let's get inside and then start acclimating these fish. I'm setting these in here with the lights off while they get acclimated. And then every 10 to 15 minutes or so, I'll come in and I'll add a little bit of water to the bag. And I'll do that for maybe 4 or 5 times. Then we can go ahead and add the shrimp and the fish to the tank. But I just want to make sure they get acclimated well because I want them to do well in this tank. So everything has finished acclimating now. And it's been probably actually a couple hours since I've started floating these. But the first thing that I'm going to put in are these horned Nerite snails. Here's a closer look what they look like. And I just got 3 of these. So I'll just go ahead and just set them on the moss. Up next, I've got these Amano shrimp, and I got 6 of these guys. And just a little heads up with these guys, they are, in my experience anyways, very creative escape artists. So I wouldn't leave your water too high. Also, sometimes if you have a tank with hardscape sticking out of it, they'll crawl out if it's touching the rim and escape. So just a little heads up in case you haven't had these before. The last thing that I got are 3 autos, and so these guys are also super helpful when it comes to your maintenance because they're good at cleaning the glass, the hardscape, that kind of stuff. So. Alright guys, welcome to your new home. Alright guys, that's all I got for you today in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. But please subscribe, like, share the video. But yeah, aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next video.